Well, hello and welcome back to Adrian's Digital Basement. It's Wednesday, so it's time for another midweek mini mail call. Before I get started though, I want to talk about some changes that are going to be coming up for the midweek mini mail call. I'm not quite sure what I've decided yet, but I think I'm going to be discontinuing Wednesday videos. And I know they're very popular with a lot of people, but unfortunately due to time constraints on me, especially around my day job, making 2 videos a week is just really not possible for me to keep up this pace anymore. Oh, and don't worry, when I talk about getting rid of mail call, I'm not talking about getting rid of it entirely. I'm just talking about the Wednesday videos. So either mail call episodes will end up on Saturday again, which is actually where they were when I first started mail calls, and they will be mixed in with regular episodes. So like one week you'll have a mail call, and the next week there'll be a regular episode. Or I'll put some of the stuff on the second channel, and I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So today, just a regular mail call episode. So without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, we have a package here from Margaret in Cambridge, Mass. Pretty sure Margaret or Maggie, I've seen you comment on videos. You might be one of my patrons as well. Let's see what Margaret has gone ahead and sent me. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. Dead parts tell no tales? Oh, this is amazing. Look at that. It's a box. This is absolutely stunning. It's got little handles on the sides. This is so nice. Felts on the bottom. Wow. Okay, on the inside, we have a letter and some stuff and some stickers. The inside is just beautiful. It's so beautiful. I absolutely, positively love it. Okay, so let's see the letter here from Maggie. Apart from collecting retro video game consoles and computers and my little store, I'm also a maker, and I finally tackled something that's been nagging me for some time, so I just did it. A dead parts bin complete with a Rammy, skull, and legend. I hope you like it, assuming you haven't found some other bin for your dead parts. Also, I bought a ton of rebranded Orinoco cards, which do support 128 key. These are wireless cards, so I threw one in as well. Nice. As always, I'm a huge fan of your channel. Thank you so much for all your great content. Maggie. And she has her store. These are some stickers from her store here. Okay, I gotta do it. I gotta grab the dead parts. Well, I can't immediately find it, but the dead parts bin, that cheap plastic Tupperware, it's not even Tupperware, fake Tupperware, was so overflowing. What I eventually did is I just took a glass jar and I just filled it up with all the dead parts. But the plastic bin or the tub is around down here somewhere. I think it might be over there on that bench. And it only has a few things left in it. So that thing filled up this big jar entirely. But you know what? This box that Maggie sent is so much nicer. It's almost too nice to put stuff like this in. But you know what? I'm gonna do it. Here we go. Maggie, I can't thank you enough. This is such a beautiful thing. It means so much to me that you put the work you did into making this for me. So that is incredible. You'll be seeing this more whenever I have future dead parts. They're going into the real dead parts bin. All right, so here is the box that Maggie sent me. You can get a better look at it up close. Dead parts tell no tales. I mean, it's funny in a way, actually. I like that saying, Maggie, but the reality is sometimes the dead part really does tell a tale as to what happened exactly. But nonetheless, this is a beautiful box. I absolutely love it. Look at these pulls. It's supposed to come off some old antique cabinet or set of drawers or something. And then this very beautiful latching mechanism here for closing the lid. So It can close like that, and then you can put this right through there, and it actually keeps it closed. And on the right side here, there's another pull. It's just really nice. And on the back, we have some hinges. All the dead parts are falling around inside. Nice green felt on the bottom. That's awesome. So it won't scratch up if I put it on top of an old computer or something like that. Let's open this up. And there it is. Look at this. So cool. So I guess this is like a sticker here, or wallpaper maybe, of like hands and moons and these little gold stickers. It's just beautiful. There are all the dead parts. This is not everything. This is everything that came out of that jar that I had. So you can really get a view. Look at that dead power switch that I had in some Commodore 64. And I don't know what happened to the pins here, but I tried to fix it and it broke or something happened to it. Dead EPROMs. There's a bunch of RIFAs in here. Yeah, so look, here's the old dead parts bin. I was trying to find this. I just found it too. I can't remember where I put it. It was somewhere else in the basement, but it was overflowing, right? But I had emptied it out mostly into that jar, but I've actually put a few new things in here. Like here is a capacitor. This is coming in an upcoming video. There's an upcoming video on that cap. It was in a TV. So yeah, anyhow, so these dead parts, they get added into the mix. So there's a good amount of room, although this is relatively full already, but I should be able to fill this up quite a bit more. In fact, it can go over the top because there's actually room, even if it's heaped up a little bit. I could still close the lid. Maggie also went ahead and sent me several stickers. So I have some additional, there's a Rammy sticker, dead parts, tell no tales, another Rammy, which is awesome. I'm gonna have to stick this on something. I'll figure out where to stick that. And then OSVG, this is the logo for her store at osvg.net. I'll put a link in the description to that, of course. And then this is the wireless card that she sent along that she says, how do I open this? I know I opened it once, there we go. She said this supports better encryption than the typical wireless card. Rebranded Orinoco cards, is what she said in her letter. So 11 megabits, WL1110, 11 megabits wireless LAN card. There's some of the stats from the sticker on the bottom. It's 802.11b, so that means 2.4 gigahertz. I'm gonna have to dig out one of my laptops. They're kind of out of reach at the moment, but I'll put this in there and we'll see if I can get up and running with, I think I have one that has Windows XP. So that's the most likely the one to be able to get online easily. Hopefully this works with Windows 98 as well, because that's what I would really want to use it with, but XP is okay as well. Okay, I'm getting this Compaq Armada E500 booted up here. I think this has Windows XP on it. It has a Windows NT 4.0 sticker on it, so it's kind of crappy, I guess, but hopefully this works. Don't have the original power supply. Oh, Windows 2000 Professional. All right, well, this has USB ports, so I should be able to find the driver for this, and then we'll see if we can get on Wi-Fi. Does Windows 2000 even have wireless support, really? I guess it does, but it's probably not good. The backlight's looking a little sad, and also the hinges are a bit worn out. In fact, the case is cracked on one side here, so it's a little floppy. It's a bit floppy. Listen to that intro sound. Time and date is invalid. Yes, I'm aware. I think the CMOS battery is long since dead on this thing. I'm afraid to move the laptop. The power cord's a little flaky. I'm not using the original power supply. In fact, I'm powering it from my bench power supply. I'm giving it 18 volts. And the connector on the back's a little loose. So if I move it, I'm afraid it'll shut off. And I don't want it to turn off because I think it's NTFS, so it should be somewhat resilient. Hopefully the screen is a little bit more visible now than it was. All right, so the Orinoco card. I don't know, I don't have the drivers ready, but let's just pop this in, see what happens. Okay, there it is, Compaq WL110 PC card detected. While this waits, I'm gonna power on my other machine here, and I'm gonna get a thumb drive, and we'll get the drivers downloaded. You know, while I'm looking for the drivers on my computer, I didn't even put two and two together that this is a Compaq network card on a Compaq Armada. It's like a match made in heaven. According to what I'm seeing on this webpage, the driver I can download is good for Windows 95 all the way through XP. So that's perfect. I am going to use 7-zip to decompress this self-extracting archive I just found, just so that the Windows 10 computer can scan it for malware. Because this old machine here obviously has no malware, anti-malware stuff on it. Windows 2000 ready to be infected. All right, well, it's copied onto a thumb drive and nothing was detected, so I'm hoping that means that it's safe to use in this machine. Now, there's only one USB port on the back edge of this machine, and I'm sure it's really slow. See, and I just bumped the power cord, which of course made the thing turn off because the USB port is right next to the power cord. Control Manager, and here's the Windows 2000 folder. Do I see? Okay, maybe we'll install Control Manager first. Ooh, HP Wireless for better business. So this is rebranded HP. I think the driver file was from 2002 or so. So let's just install this, English. I'd like to start it, nah. Now I'm gonna pop this in and we'll point it to the Windows 2000 driver folder on the thumb drive when it pops up. Search for a suitable driver and we're gonna specify a location. Does everyone remember all this silliness? I swear I copied it to the desktop and yet it's not there. We'll go back to here. Windows 2000, there's the INF file. Windows found a device driver, okay. Here it is, copying. Whoa, I guess that's a good sound. Okay, add edit configuration profile. Profile name default, gateway, okay, sure. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't think this is actually gonna work. Someone will have to comment in the description below, or maybe Maggie, if you're watching, you can chime in. This appears to be WEP encryption. I don't have WEP enabled in my house because that's super insecure. Of course, I'm using WPA2 AES, and I guess it makes sense that none of these cards are going to support that. Now, I know I could just set up a separate little wireless network with a separate little router here that I plug in when I need it, and it has WEP. But WEP is so insecure. So that's unfortunate, but the card obviously is working because it did see the name of my wireless network. I skipped over that part so you don't see that, but it's there. So the card functions, but unfortunately that encryption issue is a showstopper for me. So Maggie, thank you very much for sending in this beautiful handmade box here for the dead parts, plus all this incredible artwork you put on here. Rami really appreciates having her likeness on the dead parts bin for good, because there is RAM in here, and that's what she loves to eat. So thanks again, Maggie. You can check out her store in the description below. All right, next up, we have a package here from Jim in the UK. Hi to all my UK viewers. I don't want to say where he lives in the UK because I can't quite make it out on the label. I don't want to insult anyone by saying the wrong country. Okay, that's it for in there, just something small. Let's see what this is. Oh yes, okay. This is the chip lifter for lifting up Intel processors that are in the, PGA sockets, pin grid array. So like a 486 or a 386. He said he had an extra one of these, which he was gonna send me, and he has. So let's take a look at this on the bench. All right, so this is the PGA lifter from Jim. I'm gonna break out an actual motherboard so I can demonstrate this. Now, I recently put a video on the second channel where Clint, or LGR, he sent me an overdrive processor for my Compaq Presario. And little did I know that inside of that was one of these tools. Jim had already sent this to me and actually had it here in the house. I just hadn't opened it yet. So I'm sorry about that, Jim, that you sent this when I ended up getting two. But to be honest, I can't find the one that came with the overdrive processor. I mean, I know it's around, but I put it somewhere thinking, oh, there's a good spot for it. And of course, it's already missing. So here is a 386 motherboard. This is one that was sent in by Philip. I'm not sure I've actually showed that mail call episode yet, so this is a little sneak preview. He sent me a whole bunch of PC stuff. So this is a relatively old school but really good condition 386 board. Right off the bat, where's the real-time clock on this? Am I missing it? I don't see a battery. Oh no, there's the regular battery. Oh, it was actually removed before it caused damage, so that's pretty cool. So right here is the 386 processor, and this tool allows you to get this out very easily. You could just use a screwdriver around the edges, but when you do that, you risk potentially breaking the chip. Now, I think Intel chips are strong, so they don't usually break from using a flat blade screwdriver. But if you watch the channel CPU Galaxy, he mentioned that certain ceramics chips are very sensitive and can crack if you use a screwdriver. So what I'm supposed to be able to do with this tool is get this under the CPU. Now, unfortunately, these ceramic caps are taller than the socket and actually kind of prevent this tool from going in there. But let's see if I can get it in on the side here. Well, I'm struggling to get this under the chip. So this is a socket right here that might take 387 or whatever. And if we look, these tongs here perfectly match up with the pin spacing, at least for the 386. Now for like a Pentium, it's gonna have to look like a different tool. I don't think they actually would use a tool like this, but I think a 486 and a 386, they use the same pin spacing, so this would work for both. And you can get this in there and lift it up. So I just want to point out that this socket is really interesting. It's both for a 287 and a 387. And I guess the 287 pins are the two that go right through there, and the ones up there are the same, or there's one there, because it's shared between both of the footprints. Let's see if I can just get this started. Wow, this socket, the CPU is in so tightly. I think I lifted it up just a little bit. So now I should be able to get this in. There it is. Okay, so that's slid in. And even though it's not right in the middle, if I lift, I'm hoping that it should... No, whoa. Okay, I just bent the tool. Oh, I just bent the tool a little bit. What is happening? I'm going to try to use my chip lifter and this tool simultaneously here. Okay, this is a fail. No, unfortunately, see how it's just slightly bent now on the part that was under the CPU? Man, I was only not under the CPU with a handful of pins there, so I can't believe this CPU, it's in there so tightly. This thing should work, and it's not working. I'm just gonna go for broken. I'm gonna use this flat blade screwdriver here. You know what? There you go. I can't say why this thing is so difficult to get out. Let's try it now that I've lifted it up a little bit. Okay, so that does the trick. So that lifted it up, but I had mostly loosened it already with the screwdriver. Let me put this back in. I'm not gonna push it. Okay, that's why it was, this socket is really, really gripping the CPU. So normally you would slide this in like that, and you push down, and the chip would come out like this. And one more time on this side. There we go. And that brings the chip out. And it does it in a way that's supposed to be gentler, because this tool goes right between all the pins. So hopefully you can see that there. See how that goes between the pins? So that allows you to put the upward pressure on this part of the chip here. But for whatever reason, this socket is incredibly strong. If I push this back in here, I can barely get it even back in the socket. So no wonder why, oh, there we go. No, so no wonder why that thing couldn't lift it up. It just, oh, yeah, that's tough. Anyhow, so that is the Intel chip lifter and my horrible demonstration that went completely wrong. Thank you very much, Jim, for sending this in. I will be able to use this again on a different motherboard that doesn't hold the chip so tightly. It will help. So I'll keep this handy on the bench so I can access it at a moment's notice, not lose it like I did with the overdrive one. And with that, we're gonna call it for this episode. I have tons and tons of stuff in the pipeline for mail call videos. I recently opened up another huge batch of things, So if you've sent stuff in from, let's say, March through today, then I will have already opened it. And that's a good thing. It's all cataloged in my spreadsheet, and I can start making the mail call videos about it. It's just I wanted to finish up all the previous things before I got to the next batch. Even with that said though, there are still a few things left from last year and from earlier this year that I haven't shown on mail call yet. But that's really because these are things that I want to make a proper video about, not a quick Wednesday video, but an actual full Saturday video. So don't worry, those will be coming up, and I haven't misplaced or lost anything. It is still all cataloged in my spreadsheet. So anyhow, I want to thank everyone who sent stuff in. I want to thank my patrons. Their names have been scrolling up this side of the screen here. It means so much to me, the support I'm getting from everyone. And if you like this video, thumbs up. If you didn't, you know, all that usual stuff, and comments, subscribe. Don't forget to check out the second channel. I am putting tons of cool, shorter, and maybe not always shorter videos up there. So you definitely want to get subscribed to that. And that is it. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.